In this segment, we're going to talk about integrating Excel with FacilityWare. So we're going to go over how you set up your spreadsheet, where you need to keep your files, and how you actually do the linking. We're going to cover everything. We're going to actually go through the whole process after this little presentation. So in this segment, we're basically going to learn how to take what you've stored in Excel spreadsheet and do what's similar to a mail merge. Basically take that data out and print multiple labels based on that data. So a few things that you need to know about that spreadsheet: you have to use XLS format. That's Microsoft Excel 97 to 2003. You can save to that format from any version of Excel. You don't have to have those versions. Office 2013 through the latest will save in that format. OpenOffice, LibreOffice, they will all save in that .xls format. You also need to have a spreadsheet with minimal formatting. That means no spaces or special characters in the worksheet name, not in the file name, but in the worksheet name. No formatting in the spreadsheet, and each column should be a data point, each row should be a record. So each row is going to represent a label when we're done. Now my recommendation is that you should have one spreadsheet file for linking and printing. That is to say, a spreadsheet that's going to be linked with your FacilityWare label, and that you copy in the records you want to print before you open FacilityWare. So you can keep your data wherever you want. You can have a separate spreadsheet for that, formatted however you want, and just paste in what you're going to print at print time. That's the easiest way to do it. So now you're also going to want to, as far as file locations, you want to make sure that your spreadsheet and FacilityWare template are in locations that are easy to find and where you intend to keep them. Because if you move those files around, it's going to break that link between the spreadsheet and the label, then you'll have to redo everything. Much easier if you just put the two files somewhere and keep them there. So let's look here at how we're actually going to get it done. Let's start with the spreadsheet. The spreadsheet that you're going to see before you here is one that you might get from somebody in your company, or one you might even make yourself. This is not what you want for FacilityWare. This is nice for looking at, but if you look at it from a data perspective, this is not really very clean. Up here you've got merged cells. Down here you have merged cells that don't represent data. You've got all sorts of prettiness. You have headers that take up rows. This is going to be difficult for FacilityWare to interpret. So if you have a spreadsheet like this and you want to use the data that's in it, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and turn this into a spreadsheet that works for FacilityWare. Take a look down here. This is the worksheet name. Notice that it's got dashes and spaces. It's not simple either. So here's what we actually want. This represents the actual data. Oh yeah, another thing here. You got a function here. FacilityWare is not going to like that either. But right here, this is what represents the actual data. You've got column headers, machine name, machine location, owner, extension, shutdown procedure, and then each row in this right here represents a label. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and copy that. And I'm just going to go ahead and hit File New. Start a brand new spreadsheet. Now remember, we've got that copied, so I'm going to right click here, paste special. What you want to do is paste values. Right here, paste values. See how it's showing you a preview of what that'll look like? When you paste values, all you've pasted is the actual data. See, you've pasted just plain data. You got your sheet name is really plain down here. Your values are really plain right here. There's no formatting. There's nothing special. You've just got rows and columns. So let's go ahead and save this. I'm going to save it on my desktop for now. Now here's where you've got to choose your file type. See how this says XLSX? You want to choose your Save As type, change it to XLS with no X at the end. That is to say Excel 97 to 2003. Let's go ahead and save that. See, it's text.xls. Alright, now the other thing is after you're done working with it, let's say I want to print all 9 of these, you want to close Excel before you open FacilityWare. So let's go ahead and do that. Now I've already got FacilityWare open, so let's look at that part of the equation. The easiest way to do this is to first create a static label. So I've already got a static label created here. If I double click on these, now I'm assuming you've also got some expertise in FacilityWare. If you don't, view one of our other video segments on how to get started with FacilityWare, and that'll get you going on that. Now you'll notice that all these data points are just static data points. Data source, user input, shutdown procedure. Another thing you're going to notice is you've got just text mixed in with your data points from your spreadsheet. Contact Bob Jones, extension 4457 for details. This contact word and for details, those are just static. The name and the extension change. So let me show you how you're going to make this work with your spreadsheet. First, we're going to clean it up a little bit. Some of these are stretchable text, which is not what we want. So let's clean one of these up and link it. This widget press is our machine name. So let's go ahead and change this one. First thing you want to do is go double click on it, go to your text properties, and then go to the options. You're going to change this to wrap to box. You can also turn on word wrap if you want, and you're going to go ahead and hit OK. Now look, it's word wrapping that. It wasn't fitting in that box. See how the behavior differs from stretchable text? What you want to do is make this box as wide as you can so it will accommodate your largest data point in your spreadsheet. Double click on it again and make it centered. Okay, now that one's just a plain text box. Let's make it into our first spreadsheet link here. Instead of data source user input, you're just going to click that, change it to database. Go ahead and click insert database field and database settings. Now change your data source type to Microsoft XLS. These other types are in here, but you know what? This is the one that works the best with the fewest bugs. Go ahead and browse to your saved file. I've put it on my desktop. Here it is. First line is header. That means that first row is header for your column. It's descriptions for your columns. Mine is, so I'm going to mark that and hit next. From table, this is your worksheet name. And I just left it as the default, sheet 1, so that's correct. I'm going to hit finish. And here you're going to see I've got my fields. Machine name, machine location, owner, extension. Those are from my spreadsheet. So this first one is the machine name, so I'm going to go ahead and hit insert. I need to recenter that, but notice now it's my field name with brackets around it. Data source shows database. I'm going to hit OK. Okay, now that's what it looks like right here. I'm going to go ahead and just to show you what's going on, hit print preview. Remember, we've only linked up this first widget press, this machine name right here. So I'm going to hit this little black arrow up here to scroll through what's in my spreadsheet. And you can see that machine name is changing. Nothing else is changing because we haven't linked it. But we've linked up that machine name. So let's go ahead and do the rest. Here's the machine location. I'm going to double click on that, go to options, change it to wrap to box. The reason we want to do this is because we want anything to fit in that box. If you use stretchable text, it will not work. Okay, that's set to wrap to box. I'm going to hit OK, and I'm going to change that box around. See, I'm just making this box as wide as possible, and then I'll center it. That way, no matter how long that location is, it'll fit in that space, at least for my spreadsheet there. Now, instead of user input, change it to database, insert database field. Browse to my spreadsheet. Machine location. I'm going to remember to center it this time. Hit OK. Now we've got both of them. Now this one's a little different. Use shutdown procedure manual entry M432. The only thing we want to change is that M432. So let's do this. Let's just go ahead and delete that M432 right there. No, that's not exactly what I want, so I'm going to put some spaces after entry here. That doesn't work either. I'm not sure if I like exactly how that would fit, because that would put my M432 over there. So let me do it a little differently. Just going to go ahead and put those to the left. Yeah, that looks good. Alright, now at this point I've got my static text which will not change. I'm going to bring over another text object over here. And I want the font to match, so I'm going to make sure that that matches. I'm using Arial Black right there. And the font size, I'm going to click on this one. This is stretchable, so it adjusts the size. That's 16. So I'm going to make this other one 16 as well. Alright, that's where I want it. I've made the box large enough to fit whatever I want. I'm going to double click on it now. Change my data source to database. I'm going to go ahead and insert. It's remembered my spreadsheet this time. So this is the shutdown procedure. I'll insert that. I don't need to center it because actually I want it to the left on this one. Now my field name is really long. That's why it's not fitting in there. But let's go ahead and do a print preview. Because my shutdown procedures are all really short. This box only needs to accommodate the largest data element in my spreadsheet. So let's go to File, Print Preview. And you see we've got our widget press, our location, and my shutdown procedure there. It's filling in from the database. See how they're changing? Widget die cutter in 303. Widget assembly in 400. You got your M442 is changing. All three of those ones that I've linked are changing. You see that? M201, 725, gear manipulator. Now the only one that I have left here is my contact name and their extension. So let's go ahead and hit close. So see we've got this one linked, and this one. And that did fit in there, it's just the description doesn't. Now I'm going to double click this one. I'm going to do the same thing that I did up here. I'm actually going to split this thing up. Just take out that. Oh, actually we just need contact. I'm going to have to reword this one to make it fit properly. Let's just start with my name. Change this. Didn't remember that time. I don't know why it does sometimes, why it doesn't others. I'll just tell it where it is again. First line is header. Next. Table sheet 1. Finish. Alright. Owner. Insert that. Oops. No. I don't know if I can do two at once in here. I'm going to give it a try. And we'll both learn something in this video segment. Extension. That shows both. Let's do a print preview to see if it worked. It does work. Now I don't have the little X in there. I could fix that in my spreadsheet or I could add it in here. Let's see if there's an easy way to add it in here. X. While we're at it, if this works, contact owner at extension. So I've got my spreadsheet linked in there. It's actually a mixture. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. Since, you know, an owner's name might be a different size, I want to make sure they all fit. I don't want this to be stretchable text. I want it to be word wrap. Wrapped to box and centered. There we go. Now let's try it out. Looks like that worked. I'm going to scroll through these slowly so you can see that they actually are pulling their information from the spreadsheet. And that's pretty much it. Everything you see in this print preview, if I hit File Print, it'll come out the printer. So let me hit close and show you what that looks like. There are a few options there to be aware of. First of all, the quantity. It should always be set to read from database field, determine from database. Start position 1, number of copies 1. If you change the number of copies, you'll get, 2 of each one or 3 of each one. If you just want one of each label, just number of copies 1, and have your quantity set to these defaults. If you start changing these, it's more trouble than it's worth. My recommendation, just put the records in the database that you want to print at that time. So let me show you what I mean. So this one is linked up to the spreadsheet now, so I'm going to go ahead and save it. And I'll go ahead and just close FacilityWare. Now I'm going to open up my spreadsheet again. Let's say for this round I really only want to print three labels. See, I've got the three labels that I want in here right now. Alright, three labels, those are the ones I want to print right this minute. Remember, this is my linked spreadsheet. I'm not using this to store data. My data is stored in the other spreadsheet. I can pull data anytime I want, but this linked one is what I want to print right now. So I'm going to hit save on those. I want to print three labels. Go back into FacilityWare. Open up my label. Now I'm going to hit my print preview, and it's just going to be three labels. 1, 2, 3. Notice how this arrow's grayed out? That's all there are, three labels. So when I hit file print, I don't have to think about starting and stopping from different points and remembering where I was and what the record number was. I just hit OK, and out come three labels. And that's really all there is to it. Make sure you keep your FacilityWare label file and your Excel file in the same location. Don't move them around. Just copy in the records that you want to print, keep your formatting to a minimum, and use XLS format. And that's all you need to know to be an expert at linking Excel with FacilityWare. Now, if you do need more help, go ahead and feel free to contact us at 877-762-9280.